Now, I know what you're gonna say, but Steve, I've watched School Days. You can't mean to tell me that there's an anime out there that's worse, right? Boy, are you in for a treat. Meet a protagonist, Coda. He's got lady issues. His problem is that he gets the broads. Too many, rather. I would tell you what his desire is, but I don't even think that he even has one. Meet love interest number 1, SCP-953. This class anomaly's habits include fondling little boys that are several hundred years younger than her, and persecuting Coda's best friend, who also happens to be her brother. His traits are pushover. Sorry, the only thing that I know about him is that his pussy is so tight that when he farts it sounds like a dog whistle. Next up on the list, love interest number 2. I think she's like a dog spirit thing. She's a stereotypical 100-year-old magic lolly who we all know and despise. To the creator of this anime, I hope that one day you get caught attempting to pursue an underage cupcake. Although, like most of your kind, I don't doubt that you'll just instead stay at home caressing your phallus raw to anime cheese pizza, so you can claim not to be a cupcake convict since you aren't traumatizing children in real life. Acting as though fantasizing about violating anime kids makes you any less of a degenerate, because you can
separate fiction from non-fiction.
It's not like Lolicon is short for Lolita Complex, and at the end of the day, you choose to call yourself that. The anime starts off with the scene of the two main characters on a bridge in the rain. After that useless scene, the OP takes its cue, and the only word my American ass can understand of it is loneliness. Having watched the show, I can assure you that the show is anything except about loneliness. Post the opening scene, we find our young protagonist being molested by a 400-year-old furry while he has a seizure. The school warden shows up and rightfully blames Coda for their public scene, because his occasional gazing in their general direction basically means he's asking for it. Two more students join in and act as though Coda is pursuing the depraved anomaly.
But now that you mention it, he's definitely a little perv.
The tight bussy shows up in the scene and proceeds to harass the class warden sexually.
Okay, we should be acting like healthy high school students. Give me a kiss.
He must have learned that from his older sister. I suppose the creator thought it would be the best way to show that this tight bussy boy over here has a crush on her. Remember, dear viewers, in writing, subtlety is a sin. Some exposition dumps later, including another scene trying to convey the femboy's crush.
What is the meaning of this? How could you be cheating on me like that?
As if it even matters to the plot.
If you make a move too soon, everything we've gained will be lost.
Lunchtime comes around, and our MC can't get anything to eat because of how crazy the line is. Good thing his best friend is around to have his back. Suddenly, a big gust of wind sweeps the halls for it to be revealed that it was the Weasel and the Frog SCPs who did it. Why? I don't know. Maybe they thought it would be funny. But you don't see me laughing. Just screaming. The high school gilf then hands him a love letter, which I find to be odd. Isn't the point of a love letter is that it hides the identity of who sent it until they actually meet? Might as well just tell him if he isn't there, then he must be square. But I suppose treating the characters as if they had some sort of sentience is too much for the creator to comprehend. Anyways, they kiss in the music room and she reveals that she's a furry. But Coda doesn't seem to care. It actually would seem that he's into bestiality. At which point, Chizuru takes him down and tries giving him some prime grussy. But femboy little bro walks in on them. And for whatever reason, I can't imagine why, but he objects to them doing the dirty. So they combine and obliterate him with a massive fireball, which I think is supposed to represent their love. The message of this show is concerning. With the amount of fan service and nudity in this anime, I would assume that this is not for kids, but the quality of the writing would have me fooled. Anyways, it actually turns out that was a flashback. And the reason she actually gave him that letter was to reminisce of the damage they caused and to finish what they started. Main character objects, but that doesn't seem to faze love interest number 1. I bet you've been wondering where love interest number 2 was. Unfortunately, it's this episode where she shows up.
Take a bite of my sausage, huh?
Bro. Chill. Anyways, he knows she's another escapee from the Foundation and tries to pay for her meat. But she had the money to pay for it anyway. And does Amari. A sniff and dip. if you will. The Fox Anomaly does some Keter class activities by breaking into his room. If it sounds like I'm being disjointed in my episode description, I can assure you I'm not. Sure, I'll fudge a few facts here and there to add some humor, because gosh knows this show lacks it, but in the end, it's just the anime's writers who don't understand what causality is. Anyways, in the time that it took giving another reason why this anime is a mess, Koda somehow accidentally fondled 953's crotch. So, in return, she creates a barrier around them so no one can see or violate our protagonist for like the 100th time. Then Dog Lolly walks right through it and evaporates it. And in classic over-the-top anime fashion, they get caught. And right when everyone starts to figure out that he's a victim, he gets jumped by the lolly, and they go back to thinking he's a player. I don't know how anyone in the world could possibly think that he is somehow pursuing these women when they, or even we as the audience, never see it happen. Chizuru never has to gaslight him because the whole school does it for her. Love interest number 1 is tied up. Oh wait. Never mind. All you need to know is that she learns that the lolly is a dog anomaly. For some reason, there's a bathhouse scene, and a scene where he gets molested by 2 quote-unquote love interests. But don't worry, I won't subject you to that. After all, this video would get demonetized if I did. You may have noticed I'm starting to repeat myself. At least, I'm starting to notice. Well, the reason for that is due to the fact that this anime likes to repeat itself. Have you ever wondered why anime is so unfunny? It's due to its formulaic repetition of a specific joke. You'll see this joke everywhere in a comedy anime. Of course, it's when the protagonist accidentally ends up in a lewd situation with the love interests. It's usually exactly seen this way or in some variation of it. The punchline typically ends with a slap or someone walks in on the two as soon as the scene gets serious. Of course, it is a latter scenario that is the closest to what goes on in Kanekone. Its attempts to create comedy by making one of its protagonist's love interests defile him, usually in a public setting. It gets old fast. Heck, if you've seen other anime before it, then this gets old right from the beginning. The entire formula for its humor is completely stale. Anyways, Evangelion reference. Must you taint my favorite series?
Brazilian coffee beans have gone up again. That's a buy.
It only takes about 7 minutes till we finally see something interesting happen. They have some sort of cooking contest between the 2 love interests. I feel like I've seen this before. Gosh, if only he had actually died, then I wouldn't have to suffer through 9 more episodes.
There are those who look down upon yokai who do not follow the rules. You must be careful.
This voice acting is the worst, though it does make the scene unintentionally funny. They make him go through it again because if this anime has mastered anything, it's the art of repetition. Since Koda died again, the Fox Anomaly makes her brother go and catch fresh ingredients, and because he's the biggest pushover I've ever seen, he does it.
I promised I would do it. I'm off.
Why are we overlapping takes now? Koda dies again, if only he had actually it's the art of repetition. Yo guys, check it, the weasel's an airbender. The weasel accidentally hits Koda, knocking him out. You know what that means. How are there people out there that can watch this anime and somehow give it a rating higher than a 3 out of 10?
What I'm scared of are nurses, sisters, policewomen, shrine maidens, and kimonos!
Actually, before we get into episode 4, let's talk about lore. Welcome to reality number 19287. Here, the anomalies are plentiful and breedable. To keep the chaos to a minimum, a secret organization was formed going by the name of the Foundation. Their job is to contain these anomalies, going as far to make their motto secure, contain, protect. It's safe to assume while they are breedable, multiple of these so-called SCPs aren't very submissive. So aggressive that they completely decimated the facility stationed in Japan. For some reason, a lot of these escapees were furries. I kinda lied to you, because love interest number 1 isn't actually SCP-953. You see, SCP-953 is actually her mother. Her actual ID is SCP-953-1, and her brother is SCP-953- To avoid detection by the Foundation, the anomalies hid deep into the wild where there was little human activity. After about a few hundred years or so, they were successfully able to infiltrate and take over a school. So now their anomalous children are able to attend that school with other humans. And they want to do that for some reason. I suppose you can say that they live among us.
Among us! Among us!
The episode Conflict arrives when Thing 1 attempts to find an outfit that will seduce a little boy, because as it turns out, the bunny suit has a curse on it that won't let you take it off. The reason for why the school keeps that around? Who knows? Hey, why not just wear a school uniform over it? Ever thought of that, dumbass? I assume since the show writers realized that the bunny suit just being stuck wasn't that much of a crisis, they attempt to raise the stakes a little by adding an illusion of a time limit, since the curse that exists within the suit is sucking her soul out more and more.
Huh?
Let's go, Chihiro!
Man, the ADR director did not give a single dingle about this anime. Hey, you'll never guess how they solved the issue. They combine its force, how they executed it, and it's not built up in the slightest. It just all of a sudden comes to the mind of love interest number 1 because the showrunners realized that they were running out of pages.
Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing.
The episode starts exactly how you would expect it to start, except we have another character introduction. Thing 1's ex. Oh no.
Oh shit, I almost giggled.
Anyways, his goal is to bring back the Fox SCP back to the land of the furries again. So he puts a bracelet on MC that causes him pain every time he gets horny. You know, I find it kinda odd how everyone in this series has some sort of goal except our protagonist, when that's the first person you should actually be giving a goal. The episode consists of Thing 1 having to keep her distance from the MC throughout most of the episode, until the big showdown in the 3rd act.
It's one of my favorite outfits. Now I'll make you pay with your lives!
Everyone gets their ass whooped, then MC comes in and combines with a naked furry just to spam GG Easy while he destroys the red team's nexus.
This is the mighty power of our love!
Although this episode is predictable as it gets, it's probably the best one. However, it's not hard to see that the voice acting is at its worst in this episode, which adds to why this is the best episode. Kinda sad when most of the enjoyment comes from an unintentional aspect of the series that isn't even present in the original state.
How about if let's play something?
At this point, I'm sure that some of you are starting to realize that love interest number 2 has no purpose. Actually, it should have been noticeable by episode 1. It's like the creator was given the formula of a successful romance anime without the explanation of the purpose of most of it, such as a love triangle. You see, the purpose of a love triangle is to add the heart of all story into the series. You know, conflict. This anime acts like Nozomu, or whatever her name is a threat to Thing 1, when it's clear to see that she isn't in the slightest. Maybe for like episode 8, but that was through a plot device that forces MC to start pursuing Thing 2. For the rest of the episodes, she is pointless. The MC at no point willingly pursues Nozomu, and while he doesn't pursue the fox furry, he is shown to care for her more, by a lot. I say it should have been obvious by episode 1 because it is in this episode where we see that they are fated by the deity of this world to be together, since they were able to exceed everyone's powers when they combined. It makes all the conflict between them an illusion simply because the protagonist has no interest in love interest number 2. So why is Nozomu there? To be pedo bait. Sorry, how insensitive of me. I meant to say pedophile bait. I don't really know how to explain this, but this is a filler episode in an anime that is episodic. It's just really hard to explain. Nothing happens. MC gets sexually harassed in his apartment by 953-1 for half the episode. Then they head to the shrine because it's New Year's. We learn that his crush is an alcoholic, and that's it.
Thank God.
I really have no clue how you can make a filler episode in a series that is episodic that only has 12 episodes. Yet, Kanekon finds a way.
Huh?
Hi.
Oh, hi. How are you, Oyamata?
Good morning.
Don't you love it when it snows?
It's snowing. A lot. That's the problem. SCP-251, the Snow Ninja, was sent by SCP-953 to test the bond between 953-1 and our protagonist.
Hey, wake up!
You can do it!
Yeah, I'm okay. Really.
Don't fall asleep!
Anyways, the Snow Ninja makes an army of snowmen to freeze a school. I find it kinda odd how these creatures want to live in secrecy, yet pull wacky stunts like this to test their bonds or whatever. Why doesn't the Blizzard Assassin just ask for proof? It's not like 953-1 could easily prove it or anything. Reason? What's that? Never heard of that before in those 400 plus years, I suppose. But the funny thing is, that's exactly how the episode ends. There's even a chase sequence. How stupid is that? They could have combined at any time and yet they didn't. You see, kids, this is what happens when you give a writer a get out of jail free card without adding limits to it.
I see. So you like that?
You know, when you explore the Ava fandom for a bit, such as scrolling through the comment sections, it's not uncommon to find someone talking about how Ava almost or did make them suicidal for a bit. Now, you might be wondering why I brought this up. Well, it's because having to rewatch the series makes me want to fix the itch in the back of my throat with a Winchester more than Ava ever did. Anyways, Pushover takes his whole cast to his mother's inn. Because he's got a brain tumor, I guess. Here we find out that attraction to little boys probably runs in the family.
So, do you like them, Koda?
Them?
How are my breasts compared to Chizuru's?
Well, they got the suppleness and your breasts!
Anyways, 953 gives main character a love potion to test their relationship or whatever. It doesn't make sense, but asking the show why will never yield you any answers. What's even dumber is that 953-1 takes it personally even though he's not pursuing the dog spirit by choice. The episode ends exactly how you'd expect it. The potion wears off right before anything serious happens, and everything goes back to being normal again.
Can we get much higher? So high.
I'm gonna be real with you here. I tried watching these episodes twice now and I failed both times. It's literally the same formula for every episode except it's in 2 episodes now. They even combined to solve the pickle that they were in, if I remember it correctly. So instead of giving you more reasons why this anime is so bad, I'm just gonna read you some jokes I threw out for this video and my Ava video. Ava reminds me that I like my women the same way I like my protagonists. Mentally ill. Kanekone made me forget that I like boobs. Thank goodness I plastered my walls with the art. What I'd give the motorboat his wreck, if you know what I mean. I found out my friend lost his virginity the other day. He didn't tell me, I could just tell by the sound of his farts that his poop chute was a lot looser now.
You gave $20. I hope you miss rent and you get thrown out on the street because of that.
You guessed it. We're on the beach episode now.
It's okay, Akane. No one is watching you here.
It feels like it would be less irritating if you just didn't try following the lip flaps instead. I mean, your fellow VAs have already given up on that already, so... Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, I couldn't sit through this one either. From what I can remember from my first watch is that Thing 1's mom shows up in her beach restaurant, and Thing 1 asks MC the question, and that's about all that I remember.
Minamoto! What's wrong with that girl? Crazy.
SCP-953-Afungus gets a date with his crush. You already know it's not gonna go well because it's just so funny when it happens for like the 100th time.
Hey, Minamoto! That's enough!
SCP-953-1 makes MC suck her penis, if you know what I mean. And that's the episode.
I need to smoke crack, actually.
Everything about this anime sucks. Whether it be its plot, characters, visuals, music, humor, and voice acting. And this isn't some low-budget anime with a studio that has no experience either. Zebek has quite the portfolio. It would also seem that this anime was quite successful, or at the very least, didn't flop. Surprising, I know. It actually has a 12-episode side story and a sequel. For your sake, you better have ran far, because when I get my hands on you, I'm gonna turn you into a semen